Every episode of Good Sauce is brought to you by personal injury attorney Mo DeWitt.
Injured on the go?
Just call Mo.
We know Mo always throws the best events, and he's got one right around the corner.
Saturday, July 12th, it's all happening. That's right, he's having another family skate-a-thon. These events are always a blast.
It's at the Cimarron Skateway, Saturday, July 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. And it's our favorite price point. Free! Free great music and surprises and free Mo merch. He'll be there to support you when you need him. So if you're injured on the go,
Just call Mo. Enjoy the show. You did it.
baby!
Episode 57, Good Sauce with Rauce and Joel. I am the first part of that.
I'm the second part of that.
My name is Ross.
My name is Joel.
And that is Nico Renato.
Let's go.
And today we have a very, very special guest. This is awesome. This is epic. A huge supporter of everything here in Central Florida. A sponsor of our program. A sponsor of our awesome, going great, smash hit Friend Show. Y'all flex on our own pod.
Flex it. Let's see those muscles, Ross.
If there's ever a place to flex, it's on your own show, right? You know, right?
It's more appropriate.
We have Mortgage Guy Don in the building.
Hey!
We took it from Arsenio.
My full name is That Mortgage Guy Don.
That Mortgage Guy Don, that birth.
That's my government name.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for supporting what we're throwing down here in Central Florida.
Thanks for having me.
I remember when we got lunch, and one of the things that jumped out to me was how Central Florida you really are.
Oh, yeah.
And there's almost, Joel and I, we have a thing for Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
We reek of it.
Yeah. We are big fans of the 407 and all surrounding areas.
We're inclusive of 321.
But you've seen, tell me your history with Orlando. You went to high school here.
I went to first grade here. I mean, I went to
Baller.
St. Mary Magdalene for first grade. I was in the Catholic schools when I was a kid.
Also baller.
Bishop Moore?
I didn't end up at Bishop Moore. I went to St. James Cathedral until 8th grade, St. James Catholic School, right across from Lake Eola downtown.
And I can already tell one thing right before we hit record, that it was such a reminder of like, oh yeah, dude, he is. Sometimes you can tell people are just like, yep, smarter. You are smarter than me. Yeah, because
we like to do math before the show.
Yeah. And I was actually running the numbers, and you are actually 3.3 times smarter than me. That's what the data is actually throwing up.
I thought it would be more.
Yeah.
Yeah. He read that wrong. It's 33.
Oh, now we're right. Now I got it. Yeah.
I think it's way more than that. He said he has 5
All
chess
right.
matches going right now.
Okay.
All right.
He said he has 5 chess matches going.
Oh, and that's one.
Now Renato talks?
Yeah. That's what got me thinking that you were so much smarter than me, is that you are into chess. You are great with numbers. So what was your favorite thing in school? What was your favorite class?
Well, I was kind of a super nerd. I did, as you asked, I did go to Oak Ridge High School, but I was kind of a super nerd in school. I was into Dungeons and Dragons and in the chess club and in the math, science, engineering club. And
I know about a D20.
there you go.
I know about a D20.
When's the last time you played?
Probably high school.
I feel like
I mean,
we should play Dungeons and Dragons because I've never done it.
It is.
I have a couple friends that do.
yeah.
Nerds rejoice. We have full support of Dungeons and Dragons, I think, across the board here at Good Sauce.
I've actually tried to get people to include me, and it was as a joke, they thought. No, I for real want to do it.
You know it's bad
I have
when
quite an imagination.
when you walk up to people and you're like, hey, can we play Dungeons and Dragons? And they're like, oh, get away from me, nerd.
Yeah,
And
that's
you're like, wait,
basically,
no,
yeah.
you play Dungeons and Dragons.
No, that's what you do. I want to do what you do.
It was a different version than you had to design the dungeon on graph paper and there wasn't all the cool stuff that you have now.
Is there like a lazy one I can do?
I would imagine so. There's always a lazy one.
There is. That's true. Yeah.
You know what's
Cool.
a shame is that I still think there's a lot of people, probably even listening to this, that don't understand the concept or the understanding of how insane that tabletop game is. we call Dungeons and Dragons. How much do you know about Dungeons and Dragons?
I've never played it, but there's a lot of imagination involved.
Yes,
right?
so-
There's like,
Yeah.
And
you-
this is
you
where
kinda
a lo-
create your own kind of
World,
story,
you
world,
make your
right.
own quest, but the whole thing, you know where a lot of people get lost at? Because this is where I got lost at. This is why I haven't played a whole bunch. Because I was an angsty teen, and someone threw the term dungeon master at me. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I got to throw a football now.
You were out?
Yeah, I got to rinse it. I'm as nerd as
social pressure.
but it was just the term dungeon master being told at me when I was 15 or 16, being stupid and being a dumb teenager that made me zig instead of zag. But I've always had respect for the game, especially since like my
That's such a jock way to put it. I've always had respect for the game.
Like football, I got into D&D for the chicks.
Oh, yeah.
Those were the only girls that would talk to me in high school.
The dungeon mistresses?
the
Is that what
goddess.
they call them? Is it gender specific?
Not to their faces. No.
This is gonna be a lot of fun today, Don.
I'm here for it.
This is gonna be a blast. What is the
We're here with Dungeon Dawn.
Dungeon Don? That DungeonDon.com.
That's a whole different website.
That's a different
Yeah,
website.
right. Do not go. Don't put that in.
Do not go to DungeonDon.com. But it's at the very least a fun vanity license plate. There's
Try fitting that on
Yeah.
a government plate.
there's so many things though that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to, because we love Orlando and you know more about Orlando than we do.
Yeah.
What was it like just seeing the growth of Orlando? What's been the most expansive time that you've seen Orlando go through in your time here?
Man, that's hard to say. You know, when I was way back, when I was a kid living on the South Orange Blossom Trail down by Sky Lake before the Florida Mall was even built there, you know, it was all orange groves. We used to go over there and ride bikes out there. It's just continued to grow and grow and grow. And places that used to be out in the sticks, 20 minutes.
Now, that part of town, so the Florida Mall wasn't there yet.
Right.
But Gatorland was, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
And
think
nothing
that-
else in between.
They built Orlando around Gatorland.
Yeah. You drive down OBT for about, 59 miles through woods and stuff to get to Gatorland. Yeah. There weren't any buildings.
No.
You gotta go mudding to get to Gatorland. You
do.
You gotta go mudding to get to work.
That sounds right, though. That sounds like
That
you should have to
sounds-
go.
Yeah,
mudding
yeah,
to
that
get
sounds
to
good. That
Gatorland.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We mud here every Tuesday.
Yeah.
The Orlando Fringe Festival is happening right now.
Yeah.
You've been supporting the Orlando Fringe. What was the first year you went to the Fringe?
Day one. Yeah. First year. Like I've been
That is-
friends since very beginning.
Yeah, and that's badass to me. Like
Talk about an evolution.
I can't express to you like how cool that is for me as my little Orlando historian heart. You know, we have the Orange County History Center on board with our program, and right now they have this amazing exhibit that's like filled with Orlando important items and objects, and just hearing that you went to the first Fringe is like, oh, I just got goosebumps.
Like going to Woodstock.
Yeah. Yeah. I just that's so cool.
and it was way different at the beginning. You remember it was like scattered? It was
Just one play.
Really? Wow. The growth.
It was just Terry Olson in a theater saying hi to everybody.
Yeah, I really enjoy the Fringe. I'm all about Orlando. I like everything local. I try and support all the local businesses. I have so many friends that own businesses in Orlando. I have so many friends who've had businesses go out of business in Orlando. You know, so I'm all about supporting local, doing everything local, mortgage local. That's the thing I'm trying to make work right now.
Yeah. Well,
Mortgage local. Like you want a guy in, California doing your deal when you got somebody right here. You know.
and that's one of the coolest things that we've talked about on the program before is that how local we're just so pro local. We threw down a new term. There's a new term.
It's actually been associated. I don't know if you heard your commercial last week, but
yeah.
You tell.
we're pro local. We're procal.
Procal.
Yep.
Sounds medical.
Yeah.
Sounds like a medical thing that's happening.
Okay, good note. Good note.
I told you he wasn't gonna like it. I
told you he would.
I told you.
He does like it. He's like medical's good.
Yeah.
That sounds expensive.
Like proctology.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe he doesn't like
I
it.
told you it was a bad idea.
I think it was your idea.
Let's keep workshopping that, guys.
Yeah. Renato came up with it. I don't know.
Come on, dude. God.
Yeah.
So, Orlando, when it comes to getting into housing, homes, how epic is that when you deal with people when it comes to, making phenomenal decisions? Like in the sense of the outcome, when someone walks up to you and the end result is you going, yep, that is a better trajectory for the next 10 to 15 years of your life.
I feel, yeah, I give a lot of advice. You know, I have my radio show on Saturday mornings on 104.1, and that's really kind of the reason I came up with that is because for decades, I've been doing this decades, I'd go to a party, I'd be at somebody's house, I'd be at a dinner, I'd be at a christening or whatever it is, and people will just say, oh, you're that mortgage guy. Can I ask you a question about how I do this or how I do that? And I decided, you know what, we need to start a show. I can do this one by one. It's going to take me a while, but if I get a radio show,
You're like, but I keep repeating myself. It would be more helpful.
And then
I
maybe
recorded this.
maybe I can just chill at parties and not answer mortgage questions.
Which I'm sure still didn't happen, right? Now you just have to tell them to listen to your show.
It happened to me last week. I was doing a photo shoot, for Don, always be promoting kind of situation, and the photographer in between shots was like, so how do I go about getting approved to be a first-time home buyer? But
You look at the photo shoot, it's just you with like a legal notepad at work, and you're crunching numbers.
yeah. Well, let's talk about that after.
Yeah, right.
Has anybody ever asked you a question not knowing like what it is you do, just thinking that it was related? Like, has anyone ever like not known what the word mortgage means and just asked you what they thought it meant or something?
A lot of people don't know what it means. You know the literal meaning.
Of course not.
It means it's Latin for until death.
Wow.
So that's fun.
What?
But yeah, so the idea of the mortgage was that you owe money either until you pay it off or you die. But the word mortgage actually means till death. So that's fun. We don't talk about that.
So your name actually means. I think you just blew Renato's mind.
And my slacks went along with it. My world is rattled.
If you're just joining us, we're here with that until death guy, Don.
Yep.
So,
Oh, wow.
and now it makes total sense because morgue,
Mort is death.
yeah.
And people still name people
I'm trying
Mort.
I'm trying to take it away from the death talk so much though.
Yeah. You're,
At least on air.
yeah. Well, that's why you are around, so you can help people conquer, mortgage. So it's not until death. It's time for us to talk to you about how cool the History Center is.
4 floors of awesomeness.
They're always breaking out new exhibits. This last one is probably my favorite they've ever dropped. Orlando Collected is a beautiful, amazing, history-rich exhibit going through all of Orlando's history. They have 150 items that describe and have you travel through Orlando's history.
Orlando's looking pretty good for 150. Celebrate our 150th birthday. Check out the Orlando Collected at the History Center and check them out online, as always, at the best website of all time,
Can't believe they got it.
thehistorycenter.org.
That we can get out of that cycle or, have it work for your benefit, which is, man, if my wife wasn't a realtor and we didn't split a bottle of wine and I just looked at her dead ass serious and I was like, I'm going to ask 12 to 14 of the dumbest questions you're going to hear this year. And I need you to hold my hand, tell me water is wet a couple of times. And it helped me out so much. I am embarrassed to say that APR was April for a while there. Okay, I just didn't prioritize it, and then after that conversation with my wife, I felt embarrassed because it's right there in front of you, and if you put in a little bit of effort, we are talking life-changing outcomes.
Yeah, that's literally 3 letters into your phone and it'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, like
You know, you don't need to call Dawn for everything. Your phone knows most of that stuff.
The real estate and mortgage industry really likes the acronyms. You know, they really like to have initials for things.
do they do that on purpose?
You just, well, I just think that my take on it has always been, if you throw 1,000 papers down, people will sign them. After 2, they're not even looking at it anymore. They just don't know, and they're overwhelmed, and they know it's a big day, and they're just like, I want to get out of here. I want to, whatever. I'll sign anything at this point.
I get people that ask me, how long does it take to do the closing? It's like, well, it depends on how many questions you ask,
Yeah.
and how many
Yeah.
papers you read all the way through. It could be 5 minutes or 5 hours, you know, but
Yeah.
that's part of the thing that I find the most, rewarding in the business. I've been doing it for almost 26 years now.
Wow.
Are working with first-time home buyers, because those are the people that really want to have a house. They're in the phase of, they're not jaded like I've done this before. It's like, it's that dream. It's that piece of their life that goes towards the next step, towards a family. So it's a big part, and I really feel honored, and I enjoy being part of that trusted advisor position when people are doing that.
So 26 years. Oh, I like this question. 26 years ago, you're dealing with a whole different generation of people
Sure.
than you're dealing with right now. And I would think I love millennials. I love being a millennial, but I would think because of the internet and that we love watching, scrolling and reeling, and we're based now on the internet for over a decade, that we've got to have some eye-scratching head, like your brow gets furrowed decisions by these people of this generation versus 26 years ago.
Part of it is it's so much easier now, though. Like when I started thinking about it, 26 years ago, there weren't cell phones. So, you know, we were doing applications by paper in the very beginning, and then computers, and now everything's done online. I used to have to sit in the office. Every single mortgage was an appointment, was a meeting. People had to come into the office and bring all their paperwork, you know?
And due to the easiness, though, I would also then the end result is the people going like, I would like milk, you know, like, you know, it's so easy that all of a sudden, you know, people 30, 25, 35, I'm just putting myself in those shoes, to be honest with you. Pre-wife, I'm talking to you,
Yeah.
I'm embarrassing myself, and I don't even know it.
There are some things that I think, you know, you would think would be kind of the norm that I wouldn't necessarily have to tell people. But I do have to tell people, like, all right, we're getting close to closing. Don't quit your job. Don't buy anything really expensive. Don't, run up. Don't go buy 80 grand on furniture on your credit card.
And I'm assuming these are all things that have happened.
like within the last 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh. You just get a guy's like, I quit my job and bought a boat. Is that still cool?
I literally have had that happen where a guy bought a boat. I had one day before, let's say yesterday, where a guy lost his job on Friday. It was supposed to be closing this coming week, so we're scrambling trying to figure that out. But
Oh, man.
things happen. But I find that I have to be very clear and concise with conversation, making sure everybody understands. I can't assume that people know things, and then as long as we don't do that, and you tell them all the information, and then it goes pretty good. I have at the bottom of my email, don't quit your job or anything, but apparently he didn't read that part.
They thought it was a joke. It's like, no, I'm serious, dude. I used to do commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, just to your point about any field, mortgages,
Yep.
any field, it is always better to talk to somebody who knows
Oh, for
than
sure.
you know.
For sure.
And that's why I said, did they buy a boat? I knew a guy who filmed a commercial that was a national commercial, and he knew he was going to be making some cash. So he bought a boat, and then they cut him out of the commercial, which means he didn't get any residuals.
And
He just got paid for the day of work for the commercial that he filmed that he's not in, and he had to return his boat because he thought he was going to get 100 grand in the mail over the next 6 months, and that just didn't happen.
That's a walk of shame.
Oh, bro.
Going back to the marina, you're holding heels.
And they're like, the actor's back.
And once you drive it off the lot, that depreciation.
Yeah, yeah.
watch out. You
Boats
just lost
are the
20
same
grand.
rules. Yeah. Boats are going to lose value. Right
Boats
off.
lose value while you're signing the paperwork.
There has to be.
I know a lot about boats. I've had boats. I've had 4 or 5 in Florida. I've been boating on the St. Johns River my whole life.
That's awesome.
You guys
dude.
ever get out there on a boat?
Yeah.
Last time
Right now is when you count the alligator heads.
Absolutely.
I got 20 last time I drove from over into Sanford.
I'm at that happy phase where you get a boat and then you're super happy, and then later you want to sell it, and then you're super happy when you actually, unload it. I'm in that afterglow. I just sold a boat like 2 months ago, and
Very nice.
it'll be a couple years before I re-up.
Years?
Really?
I find that it takes me a couple years to forget the pain,
Yeah.
of owning a boat. And
It's so
and
badass that you just said that you re-up on boats.
Yeah, dude.
I re-up on pens. we re-up very differently, Don.
I got a head start on you, man.
Yeah.
My
In
dad
26
just
years, you'll be re-upping on a boat.
Yo, let me get a quap a boat. So one thing when we had lunch a while back, one thing, and I'm listening to your show, I love how much you love entertainment, and there was something in the news recently that I was like, ooh, I'm gonna talk about that and then segue it for our little good sauce mortgage guy Don interview. Magnus Carlsen, world's greatest chess player of all time.
Yeah.
Right? Had this really fun stunt, this little cool little game where he played a match of chess. Was Magnus going up against like the rest of the world, essentially? Like a chess community went ahead and voted for the moves
Right.
versus Magnus.
He went straight like middle school, me against everybody.
He's in a different level of just brain. I've seen him go in. I watched a match where you can show up late. Like you only get in some of the matches, you might only get 5 minutes or 10 minutes to play of your time. And there was one match where he just showed up at the last second, was late, whipped the guy, in, I don't know, 16 moves, and just got up and walked away, like dropped the mic and left. Like his hair looked like he had just gotten out of bed. He's like, I got to show up, win this. I've also seen it where he's playing 10 people at a time. He's just an incredible chess genius.
So it's like it's more than a supercomputer to me, because it's the best of the best, and it's humanity voting per move, and the epic ending was a draw.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fascinating. But that also made me go, you are a black belt in television and movie to me.
I don't.
The one time we
we'll
spoke,
see.
I was like, man, this guy's good. So we have shows, all three of us. We're not black belts. I would say we're like green belts. Renato, though,
Collectively.
brown belt.
Which is better, green or brown?
Neither of us know.
I have no idea.
I think it's brown.
I didn't watch that show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure brown's right before black.
You didn't watch The Karate Kid?
Let's start there.
Yeah.
Let's go with the Karate Kid. I have which one? Have you seen the Karate Kid with Little Will Smith?
Is that the Cobra Kai one? That's
So there's Cobra Kai. Have
Yeah.
you seen Cobra Kai?
yes.
Have you seen Cobra Kai?
No.
Have I seen? No. Renato,
I have seen most of Cobra Kai. I've not finished it.
have you finished Cobra Kai?
Well, yeah.
Oh God, is he good?
But we're talking about Karate Kid. Hot take here. I think the third Karate Kid might be the best Karate Kid
Of
I'm
the
gonna say.
movies?
Yeah, of the three. Yeah.
Did you see it in the theater?
No, I didn't. But
Take that L,
I did
dude.
recently.
He's on a roll. But did you see it in the theater? Because I just so happen to have my ticket stub right here.
I'm in it.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I only have one tattoo, and it's Ralph Macchio. No, I'm just kidding.
I was biting. Did you see the twinkle in my eye?
Oh yeah, I thought you had if you were about to rip out a fullback Machio.
I wish I had. 'cause
Back machi.
He has a fullback Machio in a gi.
from 1983.
Yeah.
Yes, getting the legs swept. I think the first one's the best. I'm gonna counter yours. I think it's number one.
A lot of people do.
Okay.
It's like the Mighty Ducks. You can't have that second one without the first.
That's true.
Let's go through the classics to make
Quack.
sure that we've seen, all the Matrixes. We've all seen all the Matrixes.
Sure.
Not me.
You haven't seen all the Matri?
Nah.
You haven't
Gone
Matrix
down,
eye.
haven't gone down the.
Wait, the last one doesn't count.
No, dude, that last
Actually, the third one shouldn't count because it's absurd.
the fourth one's. Have you seen
Bonkers.
all 3.5 Matrixes?
Yes, I have.
That last one, I waited so long for that movie to come out, and then it was just such a piece of crap.
Yeah.
You almost cursed.
I did.
I saw
First time.
I saw the rage in your heart.
Yeah, sorry, it would have been the first time in my life. And
I think it was a 2-hour movie, maybe an hour and 45 minutes, and it took me probably 3 days to watch that last half. Though it was not great.
yeah, yeah.
I love a good movie TV review, and that just filled my heart. You just filled the hole in my heart. A void has been fulfilled because that movie. Yes, I'm not alone in not liking that movie. It took me longer. It took me longer to finish that movie. What? Okay. Classics. Lost.
Saw them all.
God, he's good.
I didn't understand it. I was really disappointed in the finale, but who wasn't?
Yeah. We what's another, like, you've seen Breaking Bad, you had to.
Yeah, I consume a lot of television. Anything that is on.
Same.
Going further back, were you a Twin Peaks guy?
Yeah, but I was in the Army then, so I was busy a lot.
Wait,
Twin Peaks.
What? How long did you do that?
I was in the Army between regular service and reserves. I was in for 6 years in my early years, from 18 to like 26 years old.
Weekend warrior.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In the end, I was full time stationed. I was an MP in the Army. I was stationed in Germany and Alabama, all around the world.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Ross, tell me everything you know about interest rates.
Not much.
You're gonna need some help.
Who should I call?
That mortgage guy, Don. That mortgage guy, Don, has the answer to every mortgage question you can think of. He even has his own radio show about it. And you can hear that mortgage guy, Don, every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on Real Radio.
He's been in Orlando for decades now. He's been helping Central Floridians. He's pro-local, and locals are pro-him.
Procal.
Procal. That mortgage guy, Don, is a huge supporter of everything Central Florida. He's a huge supporter of the arts. He's also a sponsor for our friend show, 10 More Sketches. So if you have any mortgage questions, thatmortgagiguydon.com. Hit me with the jingle.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgagiguydon.com.
How was Germany for you?
I loved it. I lived there almost 3 years. It was fantastic to be in another country. Yeah.
I just like that dish.
How was the switch up from Germany to Alabama, though?
Well, fortunately for me, Alabama was first.
Oh, okay.
I went to basic training in Alabama. Then they asked me where I wanted to be stationed in the U.S. I said, I'd like to be somewhere close to Florida. I'm a Florida guy, Florida boy, and so they sent me to Wisconsin for 2 years.
Because they didn't like you.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, and I learned about winter. And then after that, I got sent to Germany for a while. But I loved being in Europe. I still go back there as much as I can. It was the whole idea as an 18-year-old guy in Germany walking around in a town where the cornerstones on buildings were in the 1400s that they were built, like before Columbus.
Yeah.
And you're like, your mind's just blown. It's like, man, America is so new in a lot of ways.
We like to build drywall rectangles.
When you go over to Europe and then you come back, it kind of feels like a lot of, not all, but a lot of this place is like all a strip mall.
Yeah.
You start picking up like, man, there's a lot of stucco around here.
Oh, we've said it before. Yeah, the nicest architecture in America is the Cheesecake Factory.
God, man, they went all out. Is it hollow? Yes. Is it a fake bronze lion statue? Yes. But where else can you get cheesecake and pick up on those Greek vibes? I feel like I'm a king when I eat at the Fact.
You know who has the best statue out front is P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
Big ass horse up there.
They have this gigantic. None of it's real, but it makes me feel like I just fought a war and where you are celebrating a general.
Yeah, with lettuce wraps.
Yeah, with lettuce wrap. There's General So. There he is. There.
Yeah.
Tisa.
I'll never forget what he did. On the front line that day. Yum, 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 yum. That's where I'm at.
We love to pretend we're in other countries in America.
Outback is also a very fun. Oh man, what? Yeah,
that's what it is. We just pick other countries to pretend we're at for an hour and a half.
Sure.
No, I mean you guys are talking about Outback and all that stuff. You are local. You were talking about how local you are.
Yeah.
Some local spots.
I try. Like my favorite Italian spot is you'd think I'd know the name of it.
Yeah.
Is
it that one?
It'll come back to me in a second.
The one is in Winter Park.
Stefano's. No, the one in Winter. It's right on the border of Castleberry and Winter Springs. Stefano's. It's a corner of Tuscaloosa and Redbug.
Go-to Italian dish. I'm gonna judge your book cover. Chicken piccata.
Well, I like the pollo Stefano at Stefano's, but if you know, you know. If you don't,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a noob dish.
They've been open over 20 years, but that's like, I like going,
Okay.
you know, and there's a time and a place for an Olive Garden situation, you know, but I like going to the local places.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, but what is it, Pollo Stefano? Pollo Stefano.
Pollo-
I want to be cool.
It's
I
like-
mean, Pollo's chicken.
There you go.
Stefano's a guy's name.
Yeah. So it's just chicken. This guy.
The rest,
Well, it sounds a lot better than Chicken Steve.
Yeah. Well, what's this dish?
he doesn't publish his recipes. I don't know. I don't know which.
Yeah.
I know he
It
puts
sounds like you
a
eat
part
this
of
thing
himself into there.
blindfolded. Is it on? Is it like on pasta or is it
It's pasta. It's chicken. It's like a beautiful sauce. It's
creamy? Is it creamy or is it like?
It's no, I think it's creamy. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
buttery,
God, I love it.
delicious.
I'm about to run through a wall right now. I'm ready. I want a big old pasta dish.
That's what we need to do next time we go to lunch at Stefano's.
Yeah, all right. I'm about that. Not too long ago I had a pasta dish that they were like it was, imagine angel hair, big and hollow, so the sauce would get trapped into the noodle.
Yep.
Game changer.
Yeah.
I was like, why haven't this should be the new, that should be spaghetti. Why is spaghetti?
You want a sauce stuffed spaghetti.
Yeah. Why
A
is
hollow
spaghetti,
spaghetti.
the top dog when it comes to pasta?
You want a pasta straw.
I want a pasta straw. Like a pasta,
Strawsta.
an Italian sour punch straw. It was awesome.
Do you like angel hair?
Love angel hair.
Yeah.
It's like whipped pasta.
Because that you get, I think with the angel hair, you get a larger sauce to pasta ratio.
Oh,
The
you're
pasta's
right
so
about that.
skinny.
Yep.
But it could be in like the big rigatonis too, if they get full of sauce. But I like a good, like a 50-50 pasta sauce ratio.
Yeah, you can't have too much of one or the other. I like a balance there.
Yeah, I like a light pasta, heavy sauce situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't need all those carbs, guys.
Do you like gnocchi? Which is, I like to call them like little Italian nuggets.
Or as I like to pronounce it, ghee.
No one knows, dude. I lose all confidence when I get to that word still. We've talked about it on the pod
You
before.
guys serve gnocchi?
Oh, do you serve
There's a gnocchi.
Let me just get spaghetti instead.
With a gnocchi.
You gotta sound like you're swallowing in the middle. It's like gnocchi.
That's the correct pronunciation.
That's right, gnocchi.
It's phonetic thing. Yeah.
You had that.
GN swallow oki.
There you go.
That was not your first rodeo. That you are a black belt in entertainment and in pronouncing that word.
And cuisine.
One of my favorite shows to watch is Top Chef. You ever watch Top Chef?
Yeah, dude.
You gotta have. You can't watch that without food in front of you, though. You gotta like sit down with some food to eat while you're watching Top
You
Chef.
ever just like do the contrast and watch a really good show on the Food Network and eat like combos?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. It's
if
like,
you-
oh yeah,
If you focus hard enough on the TV, you can taste what they're making on the TV.
you just pretend.
Yeah, you eat your combo, and they're like, that was delicious consomme.
Yeah.
You're warming up your hot pocket.
Oh, foie gras? Yes, indeed. I'm eating my bag of chemicals from the gas station.
This is a Norwegian tuna tartare. And you're just gnawing down a ham and cheese hot pocket.
You're like, oh, or Cool Ranch, who's to say?
It's 9 p.m. and it's a breakfast hot pocket as they talk about how to cook a filet mignon.
Brown butter sauce, my favorite.
The sodium from the hot pocket matches the salt in my tears.
Bro has Slim Jims and Takis.
And all I'm doing is watching the Titanic dining scene just to try to make me feel good.
Do you want to know something crazy about that scene? So I had a teacher in college that was in Titanic. And you know when the older couple stays in bed as the ship is sinking? It's that
was them?
The husband, yeah, he was one of my acting teachers in college.
That's wild that your teacher was the saddest part.
I know.
Arguably in Titanic. Oh, the two people that are super old and are crying and in a fetal position as the shot goes through the roof.
Yeah, I hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
So that's the late great, rest in peace, Lou Palter, who actually only in the last couple of years passed away.
Hell yeah,
He was
man.
old. He was old then, and
The smoothies.
He was. I was asking him about it, and everybody's asking him acting advice, and I was like, "Yo, can I talk to you? What was it like to be in Titanic?" He's like, "Oh, it was really cool. They flew us down. They shot it in Mexico, and they had to go to etiquette training for that scene." So the whole cast had to go to this etiquette class because James Cameron's such a stickler for detail. He wanted to make sure that nobody was doing anything not appropriate to the setting. So make sure everybody knew which silverware to use, how to do the napkins, all of that stuff. And then that way, when they went to go shoot the scene, they didn't have to like.
You're like, you over there, get your pinky out. You're supposed to
Yeah,
have your,
honestly, it was
your pinky
because of
out.
that. Yeah. And he said it was like. He's like, working with someone like that is just raises everybody's level.
It's
like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then he's in that iconic scene.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's a
pretty cool.
iconic scene shot. Everybody, I think, most people walked away from Titanic. One of the go-to reactions was, "It was that old person shot got me."
Yeah.
They're like all
That's why I was there.
just all old and holding each other in
That's Lou, baby.
a tiny bed.
And you know what? He was the nicest guy. He was such an incredible actor really sweet guy.
That's amazing that you got to meet him. My takeaway was let him on the board, bitch. Like,
yeah. Were you one of those?
absolutely.
In the theater, were you thinking that?
I'm a science-minded person. I looked at the buoyancy of the board. It seemed to be floating pretty high. I thought you could at least try, but no.
At least try.
Yeah.
At least try.
They didn't even try. They didn't even do like let me see if we can float together.
I think at that point she knew that like the relationship wasn't going to keep going.
Oh, Joel with the
I just think it was an opportunistic way to end it.
that's a Titanic version of breaking up with a Post-it note or something.
Yeah.
Joel's response to the end of Titanic was like, "Well, he was a smoker."
Yeah.
Maybe
Like we hooked up in that car and he did some things I don't want to do again.
Yeah. I don't like how he does that.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah. Just saying. Bad breath doesn't go away.
Friends or Seinfeld?
Ooh.
I saw a lot of Friends, but also during the time when I was in the military. So they don't let you just watch TV whenever you feel like it. But Seinfeld and even more so Larry David, I just really dig.
I don't know why you are in the military and you're watching Friends is quite comical to me, where that like pivot is happening as bullets are flying. Like
You think it was in a bunker that this was happening?
he's just like I don't know. I bet there has to have been a time where the show Friends, those streams crossed where something was gnarly happening and just like Friends was on a TV. And that's a weird contrast to me.
I don't want to throw cold water on this really cool picture of you that you have of me in the Army with bullets flying, but that never really happened. I was during peacetime. I wasn't in any military action.
Just go with it, Don.
We did invade Grenada during that time, but I wasn't anywhere near there.
Grenada.
Basically.
I was
Don the mortgage invader.
Yeah, I did a lot of standing on a gate, guarding a gate in Germany, and other than that, we were actually basically like patrol cops. You were the police officers. So, but no bullets were flying. So, lower your expectations.
Yeah, I know.
We like to lie and embellish a lot, so
The bullets were flying.
thank you.
Smelly cat and grenades are just getting. I'm just saying.
You think smelly? You're like, we need more bullets. No, it's the smelly guy.
Yeah, hold on. Smelly cat episode's on.
Is Phoebe your favorite friend, Ross?
Ooh, no, I would say I'm going to take this question as serious as I can.
Please.
I'll go Chandler. I think Chandler gave me the
You're a banger?
Yeah, I think he was the character that made me laugh the most.
Okay. Least favorite friend. Who bothered you?
Oh, God. An Arquette. I don't even know the character's name.
No. Wait, the Monica?
Monica. I don't know.
One of my favorites. She's so funny.
Yeah, one of your favorites. There's 6 of them.
It's divisive, you know?
Yeah. Wait, whoa. I mean, Monica brought nothing to the table.
I mean,
Oh,
she
I
gave
bet
Chandler a place to landler.
Well
She
done.
made a
Well done.
family. Thank you.
You have a favorite Friends character?
I have
And don't let the war that you were in change which one you pick.
I'm gonna segue out of that slightly. I'm wondering if Jennifer Aniston sold her soul because she looks exactly the same now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
as when she
her and
was
Paul
in
Rudd.
Friends.
Jeez,
I think
yeah,
her and
they're-
Paul Rudd are not human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they eat like mermaids or something to like make them
Well,
like, stay.
So-
I think we
That's
got
what it
Don's
is,
answer,
yeah.
by the way.
due to the fact that she may be timeless, or
I think
an
it's-
alien. I'm gonna say Jennifer Aniston.
I think
Solely off that, yeah.
Solid pick.
I think it's Blood of the Youth. Are you looking for some of the best vintage records, some of the best vintage clothes? I know the perfect place.
Where?
College Park Foundation Records. It's ran by two brothers who I've known since high school. They are amazing people. They've always known what is in and what is out.
I consider myself vintage. Where do I go?
College Park Foundation Records. It's the only place to pick up anything vintage. They have an amazing record collection. They have an amazing vintage t-shirt collection. Are you looking to get rid of your record collection? Bring it into the store. Tell them what you got. Maybe you guys can make a deal. They're always on the hunt for more record collections.
Vintage tees and vinyl, please.
Foundation Records is the place to be. And a smoothie.
I think it's what's it called? Money?
Two smoothie records.
Money.
And money.
Money helps.
Yeah.
And least favorite.
And some genetics. Least favorite.
Totally.
I don't know that I have a. Yeah, Ross is kind of whiny.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, not Ross, but Ross.
What an odd.
Either way, you're right.
Yeah,
That was a bad time to jump back into a conversation. So are you more, it sounds like you're more TV shows though than movies, or you could go either way.
I both. Every year, my wife and I will watch every movie before the Academy Awards. We'll watch every movie that's being nominated in the main categories. So every Best Picture, every Best Actor, every all of the main categories. So I see a lot of movies, and I like to watch TV. We watch a lot of TV also.
Now, we're going to segue quickly into music, and we're going to do a new segment called How Well Do You Know Dawn?
How well do you know Dawn?
All right.
Yeah, Renato on mouth guitar. This is where we try to guess your favorite band.
Oh, you're never going to get it.
Whoa. Never
You ain't
gonna
never
get it,
gonna
never
get
gonna
it.
get
Who
it.
did that
was
song?
a clue.
It was a hint.
That was in that was in Vogue. Yeah.
Which is my guess, in Vogue.
Wrong.
I guess it's Weezer. I'm going Weezer.
Weezer. I've seen them once in concert at the Florida Central Florida Fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah, that place slaps.
But no.
No.
Yeah, right? That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
They had this show they did a couple years called the Florida Man concert.
Yeah.
And Weezer was there the last time I went.
I'll go King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Don't know who that is.
I'm going to go the Eagles.
The Eagles. Wow. Do you think I'm old?
Yeah. The perfect kind of old for the Eagles.
I like the Eagles.
I do too.
And a lot of their solo albums as well, but no, not in the top 10.
That was my first actual guess.
The Flaming Lips.
I dig the Flaming Lips. I saw them at Lollapalooza about 10 years ago. One of the best shows I've ever seen.
When it toured or when it landed in Chicago?
No, in Chicago.
See, that's my favorite.
Yeah, you are really cool,
Dude, you're so cool. This is why you're too dope. You've seen so much.
But I'll give you a hint. My favorite band was at Lollapalooza 2021 in Chicago. They headlined it on Sunday night.
21 Pilots.
Close.
That's not a bad guess because they were popping 2021.
What's that?
That's close.
22 Pilots.
They were
So
there
stupid.
the year before.
Tip your servers.
I'm going this year.
Beck.
July 31st, first weekend in August, going to Lolla this year. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've been there 8 times, I think.
How's that Grant Park vibe when it's...
Oh, man, it's the best. It's just you and 250,000 of your favorite friends going to see bands everywhere for 4 days in a row.
I used to go to Bonnaroo a lot, and but it's kind of like that if they just dumped mud all over it. Mm-hmm. That's all.
It's a lot of fun when it really, really rains because all of the people, for some reason, under a certain age, decide they have to go lay in the mud and then they want to hug you. And then I've found that a firm,
You're not a mud hugger?
nah.
All right.
I wear nice clothes.
True?
God, man, I'm trying to think of who would have headlined 2021. It's not Kanye.
Is it a rock show?
It's a rock show. I'll give you another hint if you want one.
Yeah.
Primus. No.
They lost their drummer 6 months after that show that I saw in
Foo Fighters.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. That's my favorite band.
Foo Fighters. That's a... Yeah.
God,
Dave
man,
Grohl is a
could have guessed
is
that.
a rock star.
He's
That
going.
would suck.
He's my favorite. He's going through some struggles. What with the having a baby with a different lady recently
than
than his wife, but
and I'm gonna hold true. I think that is like one of the worst things. I know it feels like a cold take, but people are going to gloss over it. It'll be forgotten that like Arnold Schwarzenegger did the same thing, and that's where I really formulated the opinion of like, I think it's the worst.
A lot of famous people.
This is what they do. They
but-
MI6 a whole nother family.
Yeah.
It's all under wrap. That little, I'm a whole different person. There's a whole nother set of twins over there in Guatemala.
He be Foo Fighters?
He's going through his own set of pain, I'm sure. You know, his adult daughter was part of the touring show, and she has mentioned that she wasn't a fan of what happened. So that's its own punishment when your adult daughter is mad at you for something.
How's the tour?
But anyway, that's my favorite band.
Foo Fighters is a great choice.
Yeah.
God, man,
Second is Pink Floyd. I've been a Pink Floyd fan since high school.
could you answer favorite show
Favorite show of
all time?
Oh.
I'm impressed that you just, it's growing rare for people to feel comfortable to answer the question of what's your favorite blank,
Right.
And to have you have a snap neck answer with Foo Fighters makes me go like, all right,
Yeah, we always talk about this. So we like to have favorites so that we can debate them.
If you
Fair.
can do favorite goat band, I'm curious. What's your favorite show? What's your favorite movie? You know,
well, favorite show. I mean, that changes all the time. Lately.
I feel like you can't even determine what a favorite show is until like a year removed, almost.
Right?
Yeah, you have to do it by era.
There's favorite shows like of all time, and for sure you mentioned it earlier. Breaking Bad is one of those that's on that list.
Let's go Rushmore.
Breaking Bad is is on my Rushmore.
There's a Walter White.
Yeah, there's a Walter White.
Okay, chisel it in.
I would go.
Game of Thrones is on mine.
I had Game of Thrones on my mind, but I didn't want to say it because so many people say it.
No, we say it.
But
yeah.
I'm one of the people that actually read all the books before the show came out.
How? So that's a different experience.
It is, and of course now they're off book. They went into territory that wasn't written at the end of the last show, but. Reading all the books ahead of time, really annoying also for my wife because she's like, oh my gosh, I wonder what's going to happen. It's like, I can tell you if you'd like to know.
You're like, I can tell you what's supposed to happen. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's the Red Wedding episode, and I'm telling her, you're really going to want to pay attention to this one. It's like,
Now, I got a question for you. This is a question that we've asked on the pod before, that we've debated before.
Yeah.
Favorite alien depiction in a movie or a show? So like Mars Attacks, or
Like First Contact
Independence
situations.
Day.
interesting.
You went with Mars Attack. That's your.
Well, you went with Mars Attack.
I went with Alien.
I went with Mars Attack.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Mars Attacks was an interesting depiction.
So yeah, what's your favorite alien? I told you
I
not to
mean-
bring that up.
It's hard not to say that one of my favorite aliens is Alien because it's just right there. The first movie.
Yeah, they really nailed
the
name of that. It would have been weird if you called it Alien. It
Jumps
was
to mind. There was
about
another
a dog.
Alien, though, they leave you without Alien for a long time. Like, there's more cat than Alien.
How about E.T.?
E.T.'s.
I mean, how far are you going to go back? But
yeah.
Would
E.T. is
you
good.
call E.T. cute?
he cute.
I think
He
so.
cute.
He cute.
The finger.
It's in the eyes.
He's got the finger.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird is that if you did E.T. right now, I just don't. I think the 80s had a different definition of cute than what 2025 finds cute.
Yeah.
How about this alien movie? Have you ever seen The Fourth Kind?
I think I have.
That's a good alien movie that gets slept on a lot, but yeah. And you might not sleep that night because it's a scary one too.
There's a,
Sopranos? Are you a Sopranos guy?
Love The Sopranos. Yeah.
Wire?
The Wire, man. I think The Wire is in my top 5 for sure. That is one of the best TV programs ever made, in my opinion. Yeah.
Wow.
Rome.
Rome was a really good show. I wish there had been more than 2 seasons, though. I thought it was well done, and I thought that it deserved more than a couple seasons.
Renato?
Severance.
Severance, I love. Yeah, I've just finished watching that one. I'm always wondering what a waffle party would be in my life, but we can.
The Office.
The Office, I've seen both the British version and the U.S. version. Yeah. But like I said, I consume a lot of TV. I love it. It makes me, you know.
I just love Downtown Abbey.
Downtown?
Bridgerton.
Downtown Abbey.
What is it called? Downtown Abbey?
Downton.
Downton.
Down.
You're talking about the venue, the Abbey, which is downtown.
Yeah.
You know,
You been to that?
it depends on the show. I've had good times there and bad times there. Sometimes the sound doesn't work, but it's a good place. No, but I saw.
You've seen that show?
I've seen Downton Abbey for sure. It's a very good show. Yeah, Mr. Crawley.
We're trying to stump it?
I'm trying to stump a damn show that's been like successful. Penguin.
The one that just this.
Colin Farrell's Penguin.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Colin he won a Golden Globe for that.
Yeah,
but
God, I love that. That's
that's a good show. I think that one's going to be back. But they really uglied up Colin Farrell.
Did you watch Primrose Crossing?
I did not. What's that?
Oh,
It's not a show.
damn.
Just seeing
It
if you
sounded super
were-
interesting.
I know.
God.
Sounded like an Orlando show.
Yeah. It's Ross and I's pilot on Primrose Crossing.
Primrose? Yeah.
I'm watching The Pit right
You have
now.
to do it blindfold to get across the street.
I think we need to at least shoot a sketch of
the
Crossing Primrose.
I don't want to be in it, but I want to watch.
Yeah. Same.
Renato show.
The Pit. Have you seen that? It's brand new HBO. So good.
No, haven't seen that one
VR-style
yet.
show. Give it a go.
But I will.
It's phenomenal.
There's a couple that are out right now. I've got on my list. We have so many options now. You know, with Netflix and Amazon and Paramount and Hulu, and it's just like
The Infinity
Apple.
Stones of getting distracted.
Okay, then I have a.
I spend like $1,100 a month on TV subscriptions. I think I don't even know, but I don't miss anything.
1100's a funny number, Don.
I take a second mortgage out on my subscriptions.
Took out a HELOC. Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of content that's been filmed in Orlando?
Favorite piece of content filmed in Orlando.
I'm gonna float Ernest Saves Christmas.
I'm going Waterboy.
I saw that one. I saw a little short film that you made, a little like a trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yep.
That was if Orlando was a movie.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
And then we never, the movie was never ever going to be made. It was just a trailer.
Yeah, that's what Ross and I like to do. We just
change
tease
your
good
mind.
ideas and then we don't do them.
Yeah.
You could change your mind on that.
That's where Ross played Conroy Kirkman.
Interesting.
That was his character's name.
Yeah.
Conroy Kirkman. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Was it Die Hard was also in Orlando, I believe?
Oh, they blew up the city hall.
That is
Or
one of my
imploded,
favorites. That would be one of the ones that's up there because there's not a lot of really top level movies that have been made here. But as far as the ones that I experienced, I waited downtown for about 4 hours.
It's pronounced Downton.
I waited downtown Orlando for about 4 hours.
All right, guys.
I'm on his show now.
Yeah, I waited down there for 4 hours because the whole thing was you could go down and watch them blow up the city hall that they were filming for the movie. So we went down there and watched the implosion of the building while they were filming it. And then afterwards, we drove by and went and grabbed a piece of the building, this marble that was all over the street. And it's to this day in my backyard is like a little decorative art sculpture.
This is why Don is the man.
Yeah.
You are one of the most Orlandoans that Orlando has.
You have Orlando diehard rubble in your yard.
I didn't even realize it till right now. That sounds really cool. I
is
gotta tell
cool.
more people. I haven't told that story in a decade at least, but yeah.
No, that's
well,
You're
blow
like,
the
Bruce
dust
Willis
off.
gave me this.
Yeah. And indirectly.
Yeah. Help me paint your pictures. back in the war.
Wait,
you
was
know.
it Die Hard or Lethal Weapon?
It was Lethal Weapon.
It was Lethal Weapon
Yes.
because as soon as you said Bruce Willis, I was like, wait, no, it was Mel Gibson.
You're right. It was Lethal Weapon.
It was Lethal
3.
Weapon, and then you know why I know that is because a cornerstone memory impression on my brain is Mel Gibson's hair in the first earlier Lethal Weapons because I think that's just the definition of 90s puff.
Oh, yeah. He's
You know
got
what You know what I'm talking
a
about?
full-bodied male hairdo.
Full main body
Yeah.
hairdo with the puff and it's like blown out. It's a mane shooting out of the scalp.
Yeah.
It's Lethal Weapon.
100% I had that hairdo at that time.
It's
Oh,
such
yeah.
a bring it back, dude.
I have pictures. I can tell you. I 100% had that hairdo.
It's the same haircut that my mom had in '97.
Well, you got a straight Kathy Page fro?
That's right.
That's such. I bet you those are gonna make a comeback.
I actually had a fro as a kid too, like a perm. Like back in the, my mom. Sad story in high school. My mom was a hairdresser, and we were too poor for me to go get my hair cut at any place other than my mom. So I never knew what awfulness I would get, depending on what she was trying to learn that week.
You know what was even sadder is when I was a kid, I had to do the same thing, except my mom wasn't a hairdresser.
You win.
Yeah, you want a public school teacher haircut? Because that's not as good.
Although they're probably not going to try a home perm on you if they're not experienced.
I think they crimped it once.
Fair.
Yeah. Looked like a bad lasagna.
I'm having trouble picturing it right now.
That's why I'm bald. That's why I shaved it, bud.
That's on my bucket list before I go out. I want to get a perm. That's on my thing.
Oh, we'll do it next week, guys. Next week is perm week.
Perm wing, and
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Yes.
Yeah, and that is episode 57.
First half.
Of Good Sauce with Rauce and Joel. Don, thank you so much for kicking it with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here, man.
Thank you just also like for being you, man. It's not easy to be a good person all the time, and my God, you're nailing it. You're so cool. You've seen so much. You've done so much. You have part of Orlando's history in your backyard. That's badass.
And if you want to source some of this knowledge, listen to Don's show on Real Radio 104.1 on Saturday mornings, right?
That's right. The Home Loans Radio Show every morning, every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 10:30 on Real Radio 104.1.
Boom.
Thank you, wives and mothers. That's episode 57. I'm out. Peace. Every episode of Good Sauce is brought to you by personal injury attorney Mo DeWitt.
Injured on the go?
Just call Mo.
We know Mo always throws the best events, and he's got one right around the corner.
Saturday, July 12th, it's all happening. That's right. He's having another family skate-a-thon. These events are always a blast.
It's at the Cimarron Skateway, Saturday, July 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. And it's our favorite price point. Free great music and surprises and free Mo merch. He'll be there to support you when you need him. So if you're injured on the go,
Just call Mo.